I've waited a long time to make something like this. It's something that I keep hidden from people on the internet, something that in a weird way I'm ashamed of, and I don't expose these parts of me that I don't, I guess, want people to see, or in a sick way, I'm like embarrassed of it. But it's only through the internet and with my art. When I knew I was going to make this video, I didn't want to, and that's the whole point of why I'm doing this. I wanted to just quit this idea now, but that's how I knew I needed to do it even more. Um, and the truth is this may not be shocking to many people or anyone at all, but I live a double life. I have a full-time job. I said it. I mean, that's what I've been really wanting to say out loud for a while. I live this double life. I work full time, and I'll get into what that is eventually. And then I am pursuing professional art, and it's really hard to balance both of them. It's something that I've been struggling with for a while now. Um, the pros and cons of the job are fantastic. I I enjoy it. I make money, which provides stability, and I've been at this job for a while, so it's a massive community within me and networking, and it's a big part of my life. But on the other side of all of this is my undying desire to paint sustainably. I want to be able to paint so that I can pay for my life. And to me, that seems like the ultimate freedom. It seems like heaven on earth. I mean, I've touched it in times and in pockets of my life where, I thought I had it, and I would get so close to the sun, and then something would pop up, or, I would take the job, or I would dive back in, and the shorter version of this is that I've been very reluctant to commit at the job because this art is in the background, and it's something that means more to me than most things. So I was just trying to fight for balance. So I would work, and it would fit my lifestyle of having the studio, and I can paint, and I can kind of try to have best of both worlds. I would try to get out of the job, and then more financial responsibility would pop up, and I need to recommit to the job, and it's just been a real personal struggle that artists understand, but the workforce doesn't, and doesn't care. I mean, it's for me to fight for and for me to protect, and I don't know the answer. But to be honest, I feel like a failure as an artist because I have the job, and I've molded this delusion that if I if I work a job, then the art isn't serious enough. And to a degree, I do believe that is true. I mean, do galleries not take me seriously enough because I'm working a job? Because they want to know that I'm all in on the art. How could I be all in on the art if I'm spending hours and hours a week at this job? And then if you zoom out, you're not a successful artist if you're not working on your craft full time and it's not what you eat, breathe, and sleep. And right now, I haven't been fortunate enough to be in that position. Or maybe everything I'm telling you is complete nonsense and it's all just excuses. I've wrestled with that idea too. I mean, there's a definite level of fear that if I go and jump from the job that I've been at for such a long time, that's a huge part of my community, my networking, and let me preface this and say, like, they are supportive of my art. I am extremely blessed and lucky to have an opportunity to express myself around my workplace about my art. And these people have been supportive, so I really want to try to keep the perspective of gratitude for the job, but really try to explain this inner kind of burn that is inside of me. And it probably makes no sense to a lot of people that I want to paint pictures to survive. But there's been times where, if I've told you how much I've made from selling the paintings, you would probably wonder why I'm working in the first place anyway. But I need to kind of touch those numbers back to back to back in order to justify it for me, because I am definitely in the American rat race of more and monthly payments and nicer things, and before you know it, I look up and I have X amount in bills that need to be covered, which makes my ability to be self-sustaining with the art that much harder. So it just me alone saying out loud that, like, hey, I have a job and I feel like a failure as an artist because of that is groundbreaking for me. It's almost like I had to tell you a secret. And I was paralyzed just earlier, imagining that I had to get this out. And I don't only have to get it out for me, but hopefully for you that can relate. It's a draining course. I work sometimes a lot, sometimes all the time, and I have to try to fight to sneak in the hours to create, because these paintings don't take just a few hours. I mean, they're a real process that could take more time than you think, and zoning in and really getting in that creative space is really difficult because I have such short pockets of time to create. And the way I make it work is literally 7 days a week I'm working in some capacity. I hardly ever take a day off because I can't afford that within the balance of what I'm doing. I'm happy to take parts of the day off or half days off, but if I don't work on the painting today, sometimes it's a few days before I don't get to work on it again. And I struggle now with, because the job is getting larger, so I struggle with production. If I was painting full time, my production would be higher. Now, the past few years, the production has suffered. And I wonder if that's because, the gallery or the opportunity for sales and marketing and promotion isn't to my liking, because I'm struggling to make a few paintings a month. And I think what really puts this in the feeling that I'm feeling is when I do sell the work, when I do have a commission with a deadline, then it all kind of boils up to, like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing? I need to be working on this. But it's not always like that. I mean, it ebbs and flows, and the tide of it kind of raises with my feelings of it all. I could be content with the job for an extended period of time, but this spark will come within me where I'm inspired and I can't run home and work on it. I can jot it down or I can start to build the idea, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same as being in the studio for an extended period of time and warming up to an idea and having an idea and being able to continue that for days at a time and go to the art show openings and go hang out with the person that's been a mentor. And I just have a tough time balancing and making time for it all. And a lot of that is self-inflicted. I'm looking for more. And when I want more, and I want more in a way that is kind of diabolical for me. I try to gather up as much as I can and work on multiple paintings, and yeah, I can finish that commission with a self-imposed deadline that I'll put on myself, and then I'll be scratching and clawing to finish. And I mean, I love a good deadline for real because it puts me in a pocket of like performing, but I don't have to be doing all this to myself. It's just tricky to align what I deeply care about and what feeds me. And I have fantasized day in and day out of what it looks like to go, what it looks like to fully be on my own with the art. And it's scary because I'm scared of the failure of having to go back. I've gone back to jobs, I think twice, where I thought I was ready and I left the job and I had to go back because it didn't work out, because it was premature, because this idea where I'm going to sell my paintings for enough money to pay for X, Y, and Z was a hope and a dream. And I watch other artist friends of mine that do it full time, and my mind is blown because it's everything I think I want. And let me be clear that maybe it's not all it's cracked up to be, because it could be dangerous for me. I could just live in this studio 24/7, be a hermit, not come outside and work on my craft, which is dangerous also. The job provides a social life. It provides connection. It provides things that I don't think I give enough credit to, but I want it where I want it. You know, and I want to be able to work on my painting and skip off, and sometimes I can, which is a blessing, but you know, the fear of what if it doesn't work out is a real thing. You know, I'm not some famous painter or some brand recognized influencer or even this gallery selling artist that is able, you know, where galleries are able to sell my work continuously. So it's this constant navigation of what's right and what's wrong, but I do know that in my spirit, at times, when I'm at work, I feel like I'm in the wrong place. And that has been a feeling in my gut for a long time, for 10 years. And if I don't jump, will I ever? And if I'm 70 years old and I look back at me now, will I be disappointed because I didn't jump? And that terrifies me because I would rather at least find out, and I'm just getting older and I'm just getting busier and life is just getting more full. So what am I waiting for? I I maybe have the answer. I like to think I don't. In this, what's the worst that could happen? I don't think I'm going to be eating out of the garbage. And I've told myself years ago that I would eat out of the garbage to be able to continue to do this on my terms. I mean, I'm a hustler. I'll figure it out. I will figure out a way. I'm not going to be lazy. I'm not interested in sitting on the couch and eating chips. Like, I'm go, go, go. And I'm just trying to put more of that force into the art. And it's scary, man. I mean, there's people at work that are going to see this. And I love each and every one of them for what they are and who they are and what they've given to me and provided, and the company and all of those things. This is not that. And this is also why I'm not being specific, because it doesn't matter. The feeling matters. The struggle matters. The delusion, the illusion that I've put myself in this creative thing is what matters. And getting that out to continue to paint the picture of peeling the layers back and letting you in is the idea. So working a full-time job and feeling like a failure because of it is the idea, and that is the theme of today's video. And we will go further into who, what, where, when, and how, believe me. But in order to get this out, I needed to, in order to kind of survive for the next journal entry. So there we go.